Next fight is a heavyweight fight. Now, I'm going to talk. I guess we should talk more about the fight because every time anybody talks about Greg Hardy, it's sort of there's so much to talk about. But let's talk about the fight. Let's try and talk about the fight as much as we can. We've got Marcin Tybura versus Greg Hardy at 205. Now, the one thing about any Greg Hardy fight is something weird is bound to happen. At some point within the fight, something weird is bound to happen. Whatever that may be, something weird usually happens. Now, Marcin Tybura, he is the sort of fighter that is head down, throw punches, get you up to the cage, get you in that clinch, or even get you down ground and pound, or maybe just get you out with that big shot. Now, Greg Hardy is very much I'm going to throw wild overhands, weird kicks, because he does throw head kicks. He throws some weird head kicks. He tries to get the low kick, that calf kick. And he is a very good defensive wrestler because obviously all of his years in the NFL. So he's got a great base. The popular choice on the betting lines, I believe that Greg Hardy is the favourite. I don't know if that's changing as we speak. Last time I saw it, Greg Hardy was a favourite. And I don't know if that's just because Greg Hardy is a name. Everyone knows who Greg Hardy is. So it's like, I know that guy, I'll bet him sort of thing. That's the sort of the thing that tends to happen. Now, I see this more. Tybura is going to weather the early storm. Greg Hardy probably is going to get the first. He'll come out swinging. Then he may gas in the second, do something weird, like poke him in the eye or kick him in the nuts, or maybe even take a puff on his inhaler. Who knows what Greg Hardy is going to do? But I believe that Marcin Tybura, he's way too experienced to sort of I believe to lose to Greg Hardy. I believe Greg Hardy is the most similar sort of opponent that's got that level of experience was Volkov, right? And he got outpointed in that fight. Looked good in the first. The next two just looked gassed. So I can see a very similar thing happening there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Marcin Tybura. What about yourself?
I'm going to Tybura KO round 3. And I think it's definitely how you mentioned that Hardy's a name because you see this a lot where you get a lot of these Hardy fans who maybe not know the sport well, but they know his name and have followed him in the NFL and obviously liked him for what he's done on the pitch and obviously not talk about what he's done outside. Everyone knows what he's done. Not the greatest of person outside the cage and whatever, but people will associate that this guy's a beast. I've seen what he's done on the regional scene. They see what he did he made his debut on a Contender Series, like his MMA debut in a Contender Series, and then he got a developmental contract, KO'd a bunch of guys there. I thought that Volkov fight looked very good. I thought he was quite competitive, pretty much, and but he doesn't look good against the guys that are ranked below him. Like you saw him against De Castro, he didn't look too good. You saw him in the fight where he took the inhaler. He didn't look too good. And there's been a bunch of other fights where he hasn't looked good against guys he should be good against, and he should look very good against. But again, he's very green. Like he's been in the MMA for the last 3 years or something like that. He's fought a lot of times. He's fought 9 times within that kind of space of him turning pro. So he's learning on the job, so to speak. He's constantly learning, and he's keeping active. To be fair to him, he's on a lot of these cards, getting a lot of these spotlights every single card he's on. Like his UFC debut, I think it was a co-main, which he got disqualified against because he landed a illegal knee to Crowder, I think it was. And he has seized his fame. He's got a huge name, but I think Tybura, we've seen how good he is against Bivak. We've seen him look great in his last few fights with Grisham and Ben Rothwell as well. Maxim Grisham was obviously a huge name from PFL. A lot of people are looking forward to seeing him debut. Be it that he was a heavyweight, he's a natural light heavyweight. But Tybura was able to get him down, just dominated Spivak as well, who's a good prospect coming up. I just felt his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling would just be too much, and I think he will get sub round 3, or maybe even a KO on the feet if